Hello and welcome to another training video, and welcome to another one in the GIS in Excel series. Now in this video what we're going to take a look at is how to add labels to the regions within our map area, and we've got a couple of different ways that we can do this. So the first way that I've explored is writing some code so that we can select one of these areas and then click the button there to put a label on that area. Now I've just made the label for this particular map. I've made the text height 4. That can be edited as well, but when you get into the closer areas here, you certainly don't want it to be too large. And also what I've done is I've made it so that the text is allowed to flood over the size of the shape. Now those are settings that you do in the object or shape format. So if you go to shape format and come to the size, expand out the size to format shape, and if you go to properties, sorry, not the properties for that, the properties for the text, and you'll see you get the options for allowing the text to overflow the shape. I've also set it to middle, so it's aligned up with the middle of the shape there, and I've set the margins all to 0, and I've turned off wrap text in shape, because that then, for example for Lambeth, that might give you Lambeth, because it tries to hyphenate the size of the text label to fit within the shape. So we want the opposite. We actually want to allow the text to overflow the shape rather than to force it to fit inside the shape. There are options that you can use for resizing the text to suit the size of the shape. That's not advisable, because then you tend to give greater or lesser impact to the importance of an area based upon the size of its text, which is not appropriate on this map. Equally, you've got the option to resize the shape to suit the amount of text, and again, obviously you don't want to use that one because it will change effectively the boundaries of your shape. The other thing I have here is I have the option to clear that text from selected shapes. I've also written in another piece of code that labels all the regions there, so that's actually labeled everything in the map rather than labeling a selection. Okay, now that is one way of putting the labels on. Now another way is tied in with the theming, and I prefer this second method. So this is, I looked at a couple of ways of doing this. One is by doing a comment or a note on a cell, for example. You choose a cell, you right click on it, insert comment. Unfortunately, can't do that on shapes. So the shape object doesn't support comments, but what it does support is a hyperlink. And a part of the hyperlink is to allow what we call a tooltip or a screen tip. And if I just go there and I say create a link, you'll see that we have the option here for a screen tip, and I can type something in there. So I could type in the name of the place, or I could type in another message and click OK. And now if I simply make this a link to a place in this document on the same sheet, and let's say A1 on the same sheet, now when I click OK, actually when I hover over there I now see my screen tip coming up, and if I do click on it, it simply takes me to A1 and makes that the active cell. However, you'll notice in this instance it's actually B1 that's the active cell, and the reason for that is because I've got A1 actually locked and I cannot select the locked cell, so it goes to the next available cell that I can select. The way that this works here is as part of creating our theme. So when we generate a theme, what it will do is it will, as a part of that, it will also put some labels on here as hyperlinks. So if I go here, you'll see that this inner and outer London, I've already got some colors applied. So my outer London are in dark green, my inner London are in lighter green. So if I simply say generate theme, that's what it's done. So it's applied those colors to these regions. But if I hover over one, it also comes up with what's effectively a screen tip, and it tells me the name of that region and the data associated with that column in the column I've chosen here. So what I mean by that is, in this particular instance, because I'd chosen the inner outer London, it chooses the data associated with that area name from that column. Now let's come across here to our COVID column, and this is just data taken off a website, so showing the current rates of infection in London on week, whatever we're on now, 37 or whatever it is. Now here, if I go up to my number of ranges, I want 5 ranges. My color, let's leave that as a red. And now if I say create ranges, what it's actually done is, in my data, it's color coded now according to where that number fits within the whole set of numbers. So because I said 5 ranges, my top 20% of the numbers numerically are color coded red. Now, when I say numerically, if one of these numbers was significantly higher than all the others, it might only be that one number in that top group. So it's not dividing the 32 or 35 by 5 and saying the top 7 are in red. It's taking them numerically by percentage. Okay, so how we then use this is, if I come over here and I say generate theme, it then applies that color coding to the map, and I can hover over a region and it tells me the name of the borough and of course the data point for that borough for whatever column I've got selected here. Okay, so that's a couple of different ways of putting the labels on. If anybody's interested in having a copy of this worksheet, just pop me a message down below and I will send it over to you. I hope it's been useful to you. If it has, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and as always, thank you for listening.